already? Yeah. So we're gonna do the skull today. Here's the skull. It's the best I could do at the moment. This is my paper with all my lists. And then I also got some on the other page as well. See? Okay. Go ahead and get started. Alright, so the frontal bones. Alright. This right here is the frontal bone. These are the parietal bones, both on each side. This one right here is the occipital bone, and then you have the temporal bones right here on each side. Here, temporal bones. You also have the sutures, which are fused together. You have the peroneal suture, which is this one in the front right here, the front one. The sagittal suture goes from front to back. The lambdoid is the one on the occipital right here. And then you have the squamous suture as well, and it's the one on the by the temporal here. We have the nasal bone. Let's see. There we go. So this is the nasal bone here. The maxilla is this. The mandible, which is the jaw. Let's see. We have the mental foramen right here. There, you have one on each side. There. The mandible ramus is the one right up here. Here. The mandible notch is right here. So the notch there. And then you have the mandible condyle, which is this one here. And then the coronid process of the mandible, and that's this piece right here. So the notch, and then the process there. Or the condyle. The zygomatic bone is here, right here. The sphenoid bone is this one here. It's hard to do this. Right here. And it's also located in the eye socket as well. So it kind of goes around. Let's see. The ethmoid bone and the lacrimal bone are both located inside the eye sockets here. So they're like small pieces of bone located in the eye sockets. The supraorbital foramen, let's see, was also in the eye socket here. It's like a larger piece of bone in the eye socket. And then you have the no wait, hold on, that's wrong. The supraorbital foramen is located up higher in here, and then you have the inferior as well. The inferior orbital foramen is here. So superior, and then you have the inferior. The superior orbital Fraser was inside the bone. Yeah, the superior orbital foramen is a larger piece inside the bone. And then you have the vomer. It's down here. It's located inside the nasal bone. It's kind of a lower down a bit. You see it down in here. And then you have the perpendicular plate of the ethmoid bone, which is located right here in the nasal bone. And then the middle and inferior concha is the two bones inside the nasal cavity that we cannot see, but there's two bones. There's an inferior and then an inferior right alongside the nasal bone in here. Next page. And then you have the anterior nasal spine. It is this little piece right here. Right there. Coming up the nasal. The external auditory meatus is right here. Let's see it right there. And the gabriella is located right here. You can see quite a prominence right through in here. The greater and lesser wing of the sphenoid is in the it's also in the eye socket as well. You have an upper and a middle, so it's kind of the greater. It is located also in the eye sockets. You have the foramen ovula. So what we're going to do is pop our little piece off here. And the foramen ovula is right here. Zoom in. Right there. And then you have one right below it. And that's called the foramen spinosum. So, and it's located in the sphenoid bone. You have the carotid canal, and it's located in the temporal bone. So it's down in here, right down in here. And the jugular foramen is also located down in here as well. You have the palatine bone, which is right in here. Okay, right near. I just twisted his head. So we're looking at the top piece right here in the back, the hard palate. The incisive fossa is the there. It's right in here. Gosh, it's hard to see. Right up here. Right in there. See, going upside down. Right on top. Right there. The foramen magnum is the large spinal opening here. Right there. The styloid process. Let's see. No, we got the mastoid process, which is here. The mastoid process right here. And then you have the styloid process, which is this little piece here coming off. That little piece. The crista galla, which is going to be right up here on the frontal bone. The crista galla. And then the cribriform palate, which is right here below the crista galla. Right in there. And then you have the sella tunica, and it is right here on the sphenoid bone, right there. And then the auditory meatus is it's located in the temporal bone. It's more over here on the outer edge, right there on the notch. And there's like a little dip. And that sums up the bones of the skull.